mean, again, it doesn't work because I see, now that works, but you're a little delayed. You're a little delayed. Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome to Madness of the Land. Of course, a D&D adventure. We're continuing with episode 11 here. Wow, 11 episodes already. Yeah, level 3. So why don't we start with introduction of the characters. We'll go in our normal order. Tesh. It's a normal thing. It's ritual. Ritual. Alright, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, I see it there. Let me get to it. Uh-huh. No. That's Roll20 chat. That's not Twitch. You're like, switch these, please. There you go. Now it actually chose to switch. It's delayed, yeah. It kept trying to not switch to it. It wanted to switch to something else. It's like, no, that's the wrong thing for Firefox. That's Twitch chat, which is open separately, so I can have everything arranged. Alright, anyway, introductions. There. Not enough trauma. Rachael. Cool. Joe. Joe. You do. Jim. Sounds about right. Yes. Winter? Well, our team... Yeah. So when you last left off, you decided, well, you were tasked with a mission to basically scout out a Savage One campsite that you knew about. You found the campsite and began exploring it, the outer reaches of it. You got into a tussle with some of their youngsters, and in an area that probably had many more of them normally sleep there. Got rid of them. It was an assassination, okay? There were some teenagers, and they're just like hanging out in the woods, and you're just like, assassin! And then you got into a battle with a shaman and his, whoever was looking, basically, with him for religious needs. And they managed to alert the Warbringers that were in camp, and you guys ran the heck away from those guys. They are... Yes. So, after... Just sweat. Just sweat. So. You've managed to pretty much to get a good deal away through the forest before you rested to recover yourselves from basically a long run, and you are continuing your journey back. It is a twisted path through the woods, and unfortunately, because you were running, you aren't following the path that you were on originally the same way. You feel almost sometimes like you're getting turned around. It becomes difficult to keep track of where you're going, especially because you're going at a very, like, quickened speed. But eventually, though, you will manage to hit the edge of the forest and emerge out into the plains area once again. At this point in time, you haven't heard much. There's grass in front of you, as it normally is, and it doesn't seem to be the area you went in, definitely, but you're not quite sure where you're at now. You were pretty sure it was maybe like twice the amount of time that you had been in the forest before. It almost felt like, at least the distance that you traveled. But you know that you were off track at certain times. Okay. Yes. Then this is definitely a terrain you have not been in before. This, like, area you have overall, but you're in, like, a new section of it. Yeah. Make a perception. Oh, your perception is 16. Okay. You are taking a look, and you're not quite sure how it's done, how it was done, but you can see, you're pretty sure that there's a river up that way. Like, straight the direction you were heading. Yeah. So there's, like, field and then river. You can't really see the castle at the moment, but you know that, like, at a good distance, it becomes very hard to see anyway. Like, a couple days... Yeah. The only thing that makes sense is if somehow you, instead of going, like, you were trying to go, like, more south and east, you somehow started to turn west. Sure. Okay, taking a look at the map that Grits has, and, you know, using your own knowledge of the area, you know, you kind of, like, she, like, kind of holds up the map as you're kind of, like, looking down at it and stuff like that, you know, like, consulting. You are pretty sure that somewhere along the way, like, when you're in your run, you actually kind of probably curved, rather than going, like, eastern, southern, which you sort of left the area at, you started going west at some point in time, and probably kept going west, and turned fairly well west, eventually. You basically went in, like, a curved route. It does mean, basically, if you turn left, you should start heading towards the castle. Warbringers. Both of you give me, I guess, Nokren, give me a nature check, and I'll tell you some certain things about it, because you're basing on your creature knowledge. Tim, just give me a straight intelligence check for yourself, because you're doing it more tactically. Okay. Theoretically, something of that size and shape could have strength that could damage stone walls, but the chances of them on their own doing it slim. But from the looks of them, they seem to have like better armor, tougher hide, and you know, overall we're tougher. So the amount of damage that they probably could take before they might be able to do things like put up ladders or throw up grappling hooks or stuff, you know, they can withstand it more. And Tim, for like your tactical knowledge, more likely these would either be like a core unit or a spearhead unit if these were things like that, you know. Again, you didn't see a lot of them, so that's... But also because of how the campsite looked, you can kind of guess that more than likely, after everything you saw, the place wasn't originally a war camp, but it might be now. You're not 100% sure. Yeah. Those Warbringers may have been there anyway, but it's hard to say. You know. Yeah. Alright. Sure. Whoever rolls it rolls with the advantage. Oh. Huh. Oh, there it goes. That was weird. That was weird. I don't understand it. Whatever. Alright. Okay. So, you kind of get an idea from all the information that you were provided and with your knowledge of maps to kind of like turn you guys effectively south. And rather than taking like, you're not perfect enough to like give a straight shot, but what you do is you do manage to take, it still is a couple of days journey anyway. You take about 3 days, so maybe a day extra, but again, it's like you're trying to get your bearings, that you kind of loop south and over, and you end up actually getting towards the castle from the west of it. So you're moving in east towards the castle a little bit. Well, again, there's no actual night, so... Yes. Give me... so... Okay, go ahead and give me his perception with advantage, I'll say. You're kind of looking out together. Alright. You... So, it's because of you that you are pretty sure you have avoided some problems with your looking out. So, you see 2 separate groups of savage ones that you managed to basically avoid. Neither of them look war-like. One of them appears to be a group of... And this is really hard to tell, but you're pretty sure they're a group of females with bows and arrows hunting. You, like, one of the nights you managed, like, just kind of, like, at the very edge of your eyes, you managed to get a very good sight of them, like, in a small area of, like, parted grass, as they're hunting some of the like, deer-like creatures that are in this area. Only see 3 at a time, but it's hard to tell them apart, and you don't get, like, it looks as if, like, they move in and out of the grass and then move in, like, it looks like you saw, like, the quick kill, and then you saw them, like, moving in and, like, carving up the beast occasionally and, like, taking shifts. I mean, possible, but difficult. And the other time is you do notice there is a small light out in the distance, like a single fire. And around that you see a small group of them, which you can't really get a good sight. Like, one of them you think, you're like maybe half a mile away at this point in time up the tree, kind of like looking. You're pretty sure one of them looks like one of the youngsters, so maybe part of either a hunting party or training party or something, you're not sure. You think maybe 3, 4? Yes. I mean, you saw the like the antelope thing get taken down like that. You saw like a bunch of arrows just fly into it. The rest of your journey is actually uneventful, and you manage to make it back to the castle walls safely. Everything seems standing. The guards greet you as usual, as you have come in and out a few times already now. One of them will come down to the out to the gates after they kind of like close up behind you and greet you up. Do you require to see Commander Malik? He informed me that you would be, if you came back, to let him know right away. All right, I'll send someone to go let them know. Are you going to go right to? He's probably in the barracks currently. All right, everyone. All right. All right. All right then. He'll go and get someone and send them off. All right. What? All right. So double the watch. Okay, we might be able to manage that. We're still stretched very thin. All right. Yeah. All right. It's like a butterfly the size of your hand, and it has like, yes, yeah, and it's got like kind of like strange like spikes on the back of its back, which look really strange. Make it look kind of like intimidating. Yeah. Yes. She will have been discussing with Red what the thing is, and Red will not have paid attention. Alright, you arrive at the barracks, and you will not find Malik on the sort of open floor of the main troop of people. Yeah. Like one of the people that was kind of like resting there is gonna kind of come up and like, what do you require? What's going on? All right, I'll get him. Okay. Yeah. So, like, he'll go upstairs, and eventually they'll come down. Moloch will come down, dressed in, like, just simple clothes. He'll look a little, like, out of it, but he'll be like, oh, yes. So you're back. Apologies. I was resting. Yes. Uh-oh. Oh, no. No, because it got... Oh, wait. That's a lot. Yes. All right. All right then. Let's wait for them. discuss the plan of attack. You'll wait for a little bit. The Orin will arrive first, followed soon after by the Duke. You'll go over the same information you told them. After everything is said and done, the Duke will turn to you, and he'll kind of like look like he's got a lot on his plate, of course. If they're preparing for war, we have to be prepared ourselves, but we're not in a position to siege or battle them, which puts us at a huge disadvantage. This worries me greatly. Hasn't. They've been testing the walls now 4 weeks, though. Small parties seem to, like, come in, launch ranged attacks. We've had some injuries, but fortunately no deaths, but I don't think we've taken many of their side either. Not a lot. Not enough to... Not at all. Maybe one side of the castle, at most, but not all directions. It's true. And the thing is, Commander Malk is going to kind of interject here. And that's something that we actually might know a little bit more about. It seems as though across the river, across the bridge, they have much more people at least. We've seen them cross. Yes. Just the bridge, it seems. Just that occasional parties have seemed to cross the bridge. No major troop movement, though. No. It was rare enough back at home, but no, we never had any. And I don't know if we ever know anybody that knows the secrets of it in town. No, he didn't have that kind of knowledge, unfortunately. Stone? Commander Mock will call for a guard, and he'll have a kind of break there, and he'll come in and he'll recount his tale that he had. Well, a hunter, I'm sorry. He had been wandering a little farther than he thought, and came towards the river. He decided to follow the river. He came across the bridge, which had been seen before. He's probably the one. He got closer than the last person that got to it. It seemed a well-built stone bridge. It had 4 arches, so it spanned for quite a little bit. He did note, however, that there was more open fields on the other side and forest areas he could see. And he managed to hide in the grass when he saw a group on the other side. A couple of savage ones. He couldn't give very good descriptions of them. But one of them sounded like that he saw sounded a little bigger than the rest, better armored. He seemed to be communicating with a giant of some kind. A large humanoid with a single eye. They seemed to have some kind of conversation. And then a small group of hunters crossed the river. And then the bigger one and the Cyclops headed back deeper into that territory. The guard bullion, it seemed old though, but still well built. Like an old bridge that was near my hometown. Been standing there for 500 years. Really great shape still. At this point, as you say that, another kind of guard comes running up and starts talking to Commander Maul, kind of like whispering something. There might be something else. Someone has come back from the field, alive but injured, and he apparently has some kind of story. You'll head down to what effectively is the infirmary of the area, which is in fact just a cordoned off area of the mess hall, which has been put into more of an infirmary. It seems that there's a lot more injuries, at least nowadays. There's a man who seems very rugged. He looks a little like maybe he's had a couple of days without decent food and water. Got some old injuries, very beat up. He's kind of like resting there, like half asleep. This is John Wrench. John, I heard you have this tale to tell us that you think might be helpful. Aye, Commander. Sorry. I'm tired. He seems a little bit better, like some of the old wounds that obviously, you know, just hadn't been healing up because he got them and hadn't been treated would kind of heal up a little bit. He's like, thank you very much. I was part of a hunting group. I was a company owner, and I got separated. I found myself wandering for some time, and I came across the cliff face, one to the north. I decided to follow it for a while. I knew there was some kind of bridge. Eventually, I thought to walk around the river. I'd heard stories of the dangers of the river, but the things that might be able to come out of the river. But I thought best to dare it. And then I got attacked by a group of savage creatures, savage ones. Took an arrow to my one arm. I ran. I was outnumbered. There was at least 5 of them. I kept running, and eventually I came across a point where the waterfall meets the river. The cliff meets the river. Waterfall. I found a cave there. I wandered into the cave in hopes to loot them, and they didn't follow me. It's dark there. I couldn't see. I wandered for a bit, and finally managed to find materials and light a torch. I saw signs that there might be some kind of construction deep in the cave, but then some kind of giant insect attacked me and drove me out. I went running into the fields, and just by luck, I came back here. Maybe there's people down there. I don't know. But those savage ones didn't follow me in there. No, sir. No, sir. Could this, Gavin is kind of like thinking, could this be connected to the city on the cliff? If there are people there, maybe we can get allies, especially if the savage ones don't go there. Or, another thought. Maybe that's a more defendable position. If it could be, if we could somehow move our people there, it would be dangerous. 3 or 4 days, depending on how quickly you go, I think. Mercedes. I believe he doesn't use it. I don't think he's used it much, but I believe he has the spell. He's gonna like think for a second. Sending. Yes. So, kind of like a little, mostly north, but a little to the. If you check the map in the the valley map, it's the you can see where there's a little waterfall. That's sort of right north of the Fey Forest.
It's far enough that we don't want to carry a siege engine there, though.
Oh no, I agree. That was just a note of realization.
More just a,
Procedure reference.
Yeah. The other point is, perhaps these other people, if they are people, or if they are helpful or potential allies, maybe they have a siege weapon and maybe they could take the bridge. Or perhaps they could flank the enemy. Perhaps we might not be lost after all. Perhaps it is something that we can work with. But if it isn't, then, worst case scenario, we lose a small scouting party. I think we should go.
Yeah.
If you're asked for the task, I will not stop you, but...
We need time to prepare before we go, but...
Yeah.
I think we should all take some time to discuss it before I just go volunteering us for something like a foolhardy suicide mission. But,
I'm in.
I don't like heights, but I'll do it.
the Dwarven Thane has entered the room, it seems.
Sorry, husband.
Nah, it's all
That's okay.
Red?
Red?
I think
Doing
Red's
great, buddy.
always up for anything.
Yeah.
Just don't let me look down, please.
Hey,
He could blindfold you.
Uh-huh.
have you been looking at chat
Yeah,
Yes.
with the music?
He fixed
I fixed it.
He already fixed it.
Okay.
it.
It's like
He also
we-
said that in chat.
Yes, he did.
I noticed that you
I'm
guys have
occasionally
accidentally
paying
been
attention.
turned down a lot lower than you should have been. So that actually we might have had like really tiny or virtual no audio from you guys for like an hour.
I'm sure you heard Red.
Probably.
At least once.
Yeah. Well, we know what we said.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
It's-
And the rolls showed up on the screen so that people know the results of it.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
So we can get an idea what happened.
Okay. So, given that we at least all appear to be somewhat on board with this idea, this horrible, horrible idea that I don't know
horrible idea,
why you're allowing me to make such horrible statements.
Because we don't have any other options besides just laying in wait until they come.
Which isn't necessarily a bad option, but that's
It's
why
not a
we, a small
bad
party, are going.
Yeah, but it gives us an option to look for another plan.
Gives me something to do.
Because
Yeah.
the only other somewhat friends we have already said they would join in defense.
Yeah.
No, they would not. But they might join in our aid. Supplies, perhaps. They might even consider offering help to us in the form of magic. But I doubt it. I think that's much more of a long shot, which, speaking of long shots, we're currently going to walk into a place that, we have the accounts of one unreliable witness, no offense, John, that there might be people there that might possibly be friendly to us.
And that
But
the Savage Ones is too afraid to interact with.
Exactly.
And yet I think the Fey Forest is more of a long shot, so I don't know what that tells you about the circumstances.
We're in
Well,
a great place.
No offense, our little pixie friend. Fays aren't exactly the most reliable lot.
I'm reliable. A lot.
Unless
Like-
you're looking to get drunk.
Ha! Drunk.
I think it's still
like-
worth.
Red still has that death worm. It's only called that because those spikes on its back are really poisonous. It's okay though. Only things that eat it get poisoned. So don't eat that. I told him not to eat it.
Red, not eat.
Next time.
They make
Tim
great
is-
pets if you don't eat them.
Tim is going to pull out one particular item from his pack, which
Is it cage?
is this. And I'm gonna use the fountain setting to go ahead and spray a little water on our pixie friend. Time for you to sober up.
Sober up.
That I think stream would be sufficient for her size.
Drip
Nope.
would be sufficient for her
It's
size.
deliberate.
He's using fountain.
I think the Fae are worth talking to on the way back, because
If
it's a
there's time.
long shot. Once we know that we're not needing to rush back, I think it's worth going in and talking to them. Otherwise, I think we need to get on with getting to that cave as fast as possible.
Yeah.
The father might be able to help, but I don't know. He has visions sometimes, so maybe he could have seen something. But I don't know if he'd share it. I
At the
could.
very least.
I'm
Where are
going
you going?
to the church.
Where are you going?
regardless.
You're going to that cave there? Okay. All right. I'm okay now. How about
I'm gonna spray the gourd on him as well.
how about I go and talk to him, and I could meet you at that cave entrance. I could wait for you there. I'm good at hiding.
That's not a bad idea.
So if you're done
That would
looking
be
at
very helpful.
it, I can find out stuff from him.
That would be
All
very
right.
much appreciated.
Okay. I'm gonna rest for a little while, and then I'll get going. Oh, I'm so wet.
I'm gonna now just quickly cast prestidigitation to dry him off.
I'm so not wet.
Very much not wet.
Yeah,
And
at the
that is
very
what we
least-
go for in this show.
Does anyone
Very
have
much not wet.
restoration?
Um,
What does that mean?
At the very
I think
least,
we need to go sleep.
yeah.
Well, it's been a
At the
couple.
very least, they might be able
Has
to
it been, like,
offer
2 days?
aid in weaponry, devices,
yeah.
magical things.
So everything should be restored. 'Cause we
Good
did get
point. I
essentially
forgot
a
to
long
do
rest.
that.
Yeah. I just did the long castle.
Red.
Red.
Do me a favor and defend the castle. I feel like you're better here. They need someone who can talk.
You're coming with us, are you, Warren?
Figured it's better to die by an old friend's hand with an AoE spell than at the hand of a savage one.
Nokren
Well,
would
I
actually
promise-
be laughing, by the way.
I promise not to kill you with it. I've actually learned how to make my spells go around my allies, at least up to a couple of my allies. We
Yeah.
can't control it completely. It's still occasionally. It's
Promise a guaranteed
Oh,
spot
give
for me
him-
in each one, and you got a deal.
deal. And Tim is actually gonna go and shake, like outstretch his hand to shake
Oh
Warren's
yeah,
hand.
of course, shake.
And good. And welcome back.
Here comes death.
Long may it live.
I'm gonna rummage in my backpack. Here, have a swig. You'll need it.
Yep.
Good stuff.
I don't drink.
You
Not
should.
to suggest something that you might rather hold on to, Rufus, but the Assassin's Blade. Do you still have that? Horn?
Takes it, flips it around a few times, stick it in a pocket that y'all have no idea where it went.
Welcome back to the fold, friend.
Passes it. Whoever wants to take a swig.
I'll take a party swig.
Tim's gonna hold off on the booze for now.
Well, I'm
Hold
sure
on,
we're probably
definitely.
going to take a rest before we leave.
At
Yeah.
least a short one, probably.
I need to go talk to my daughter.
A long rest is probably best because otherwise we'll start getting points of exhaustion. So,
Yeah.
I'm fine. I don't know about all of you.
even if we don't spend a whole
We've had a
night,
long
shush. Even
A
if we
long
don't spend a whole
few
I
night.
don't know, you've been digging. Are you fine?
He's
a good
been
point.
he's been telling people to dig. He's the commander.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's not doing
Let's
it.
be clear. He's supervising.
I'm the foreman.
I'm gonna go and talk to my daughter. Orin, if you'd like to join, you're more than welcome. Everyone else, I think you need to go celebrate our return and perhaps rest up.
Well, I'm gonna go speak with the Thane.
Okay.
I'm going to get a fill up on my good stuff. We might need it along the way.
Okay.
I'm gonna go speak with Sebastian.
Let's split the party.
Okay.
We're in
At least we're in town.
We're in town. It's
Like,
fine.
yeah, I know.
When you
Alright.
split the party.
So
Yeah.
for once, I'm gonna try to get 2 breaks in. So why don't we take our first break here as you're splitting the party? For a couple
Sounds
minutes.
good.
Sounds
I'm
good.
gonna create a new command.
With the party.
Probably.
Split the party. It's great. All right. All right. So we're gonna take a quick break here, a couple of minutes, get a drink, go to the bathroom, grab a snack, and we'll be back to continue. And the party being split as they prepare for yet another journey out into the wilderness. So we'll be back in a minute. See you in a second. Bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.